So you've shared some articles about hepatitis B, and, we usually think of that virus purely in relation to the liver.
Right. That's the main association.
But what you might not realize, and what we're getting into today, is how this can actually have implications for something that seems, well, totally unrelated. Vaginal health.
Yeah, exactly. That's what this deep dive is all about. We're exploring that connection based on the sources you send over between hepatitis B and vaginal health.
Okay.
It really isn't just about the liver. It's more about understanding let's say, the broader impact a chronic condition can have on your overall well-being, especially for women.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got these articles detailing hepatitis B's effects, but also info on keeping a healthy vaginal environment.
Right.
And our goal is really to uncover how managing something like Hep B can kind of indirectly mess with that delicate balance in the vaginal ecosystem.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We know hepatitis B, it primarily hits the liver, but why should we even think it might affect anything beyond that one organ? What's the bigger picture?
Well, hepatitis B, it's a viral infection caused by the hepatitis B virus, HBV. And yeah, its main target is the liver.
Right.
If it goes untreated, it can lead to some serious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Inflammation, scarring, and even liver cancer. It spreads through infected bodily fluids, blood, unprotected sex, and from mother to child during birth. Now, the really key thing here is that a lot of people live with chronic hepatitis B. That means their immune system is basically working around the clock to manage the virus.
Oh, okay.
Which leads to ongoing immune responses, inflammation.
Yeah.
And while, yeah, we focus on the liver chronic conditions,
Mm-hmm.
they just don't operate in the vacuum,
Mm-hmm.
They can have these far-reaching effects on hormones, immunity, and, well, as we're discussing, potentially vaginal health, too. The body is all interconnected. That's what we got to keep in mind.
Wow. So not just a liver issue, but a systemic thing. Now, here's where it gets really interesting for me. How exactly can a virus mainly affecting the liver have this, knock-on effect on vaginal health? They seem like such different systems.
They do. But think of your body like this complex machine, right? All the systems are linked up.
Okay.
So when one system is under stress, like the liver and immune system dealing with Hep B, it can create imbalances somewhere else.
Ah.
Chronic Hep B, you've got ongoing inflammation, maybe hormonal shifts happening, and just the general physiological stress of it all. That sends ripples to the body.
Ripples.
Yeah. And that includes the very sensitive environment of the vagina. The body's resources aren't endless, so one area needs a ton of attention. Others might feel the strain.
Okay, let's dive into those ripples then. You mentioned hormonal imbalance and stress. How do they specifically play a role when we're talking vaginal health and Hep B?
Right, so chronic illnesses, like a long-term viral infection, they cause both physical and emotional stress, no doubt about it.
Uh-huh.
And that stress, it can trigger hormonal fluctuations. So you get stress hormones going up, maybe changes in reproductive hormones.
Okay.
And all of that can affect the vaginal lining itself, its ability to, produce natural lubrication, and that really crucial pH balance.
Yeah, that pH is key.
Totally. So if those hormones are out of whack, the vaginal environment can become more vulnerable. Think dryness, discomfort, and changes in the microbiome, that balance of good and bad bacteria.
Right, the microbiome.
And that disruption makes you more susceptible to things like bacterial vaginosis or BV, yeast infections, even UTIs. So managing Hep B, the stress alone, can mess with hormones and impact vaginal health directly.
That makes a lot of sense. Stress really does throw so much out of balance. Now, what about the immune system itself? How does the body fighting Hep B affect our defenses, down there?
That's a really crucial point. Your immune system is constantly working, trying to keep that Hep B virus under control.
Right, it's always active.
Exactly. This chronic, ongoing activation, it can sometimes divert immune resources away from other parts of the body.
Like a reallocation?
Sort of, yeah.
Mm.
It might weaken the local immune defenses in the vagina. And if you have a compromised local immune presence there, it makes it harder for the vagina to maintain those good bacteria populations and fight off any opportunistic pathogens,
Yeah.
The bad bugs trying to cause trouble.
So the body's kind of prioritizing, sending troops to the main battlefront, leaving other areas less guarded.
That's a good way to put it. Think of it like managing resources in a crisis.
Yeah.
If there's a big fire in one part of town, maybe fewer police are patrolling another neighborhood temporarily.
Got it.
The ongoing fight against Hep B demands immune resources, potentially leaving fewer for local defense in the vagina.
And you also flagged chronic inflammation earlier. How does that fit into this hepatitis B vaginal health connection?
Right, so persistent inflammation, often low grade, is pretty common with chronic infections like Hep B. Now, this might not cause immediate obvious problems in the vagina, but over time, it can subtly kind of undermine the integrity of the vaginal tissues.
Wear them down.
Yeah, essentially. Makes the vagina less resilient, less able to cope well with hormonal shifts or challenges from microbes. The tissues become, well, more vulnerable to irritation or infection. It's like this slow, steady, low-level wear and tear.
Like a slow weakening that just makes things more fragile over time. And I guess the emotional side of living with something chronic like Hep B must factor in too.
Oh, absolutely. You can't discount the emotional and psychological stress of managing a chronic illness. It's huge.
Mm.
And mental well-being directly impacts physical health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Including how hormones are regulated and how the immune system functions. Things like anxiety or depression, they can indirectly influence lifestyle choices too. Diet, exercise, maybe even hygiene routines.
All things that affect vaginal health.
Exactly. It's all connected. What's going on in your head affects your body, plain and simple.
Okay, so given all these links, the stress, hormones, immune shifts, inflammation, the emotional toll, why is it so important for women managing hepatitis B to actually prioritize vaginal health? It sounds like it's definitely not just some separate thing to ignore.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
While obviously managing Hep B focuses on liver health, lifestyle, maybe antiviral treatments, paying attention to vaginal health can seriously boost a woman's overall quality of life.
How so? What are the tangible benefits?
Well, firstly, it really lowers the risk of getting those recurrent infections.
Like BV and yeast infections.
Exactly. By keeping a healthy population of good bacteria and a stable pH, the vagina is just, well, less welcoming to the harmful microbes that cause those issues. Fewer infections means less discomfort, fewer doctor visits.
Okay, that's a big one. What else?
Secondly, it just means enhanced comfort and confidence, avoiding issues like dryness, irritation, general discomfort that support sexual health, makes daily life more comfortable, and honestly, boosts self-esteem.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, it supports the actual integrity of the vaginal tissues and the local immune response. Healthier tissues are tougher, more resilient. And a strong local immune system can fight off infections better, even when the body's dealing with the long-term pressure of Hep B.
Okay, so it's not just reactive treatment. It's about building a more robust system down there proactively. So what can women managing Hep B actually do? What are some practical steps to promote vaginal health?
Yeah, great question. And there's no magic bullet, right? It's usually a combination of things done consistently.
Makes sense.
So first up, balanced nutrition and staying hydrated. Super fundamental. A nutrient-dense diet helps your whole body, including hormone regulation and immune strength.
Right.
And good hydration keeps all your mucous membranes, including the vaginal lining, moist and resilient. So think lean proteins, whole grains, healthy fats, lots of fruits and veggies, the usual good stuff.
Good fuel, good hydration, basic but crucial. What else?
Regular exercise and, really importantly, stress reduction. Modern exercise is great for circulation, might help stabilize hormones, supports immunity.
Okay.
But managing stress is key too. Things like yoga, meditation, even just regular walks or hobbies you enjoy, they calm the nervous system. Lower stress helps ease hormonal imbalances, improves well-being. And like we said, that directly helps vaginal health.
Really leaning into that mind-body connection. What about like direct hygiene practices for the area itself?
Gentle hygiene is absolutely essential. Use mild, fragrance-free cleansers. Definitely avoid douching or harsh chemicals. Those just disrupt the natural balance.
Right.
And practical stuff. Wear breathable cotton underwear. Change out of damp clothes like workout gear or swimsuits quickly. You want to avoid moisture buildup where unwanted microbes like to grow. Simple habits make a big difference.
Simple, but probably easy to forget sometimes. What if, despite doing all this, infections still happen? What's the plan then?
Early intervention. That's really important. If you notice anything unusual, discharge, itching, odor, anything concerning, get it checked out by a doctor or healthcare provider promptly.
Don't wait and see.
Ideally, no. Catching and treating vaginal infections early reduces inflammation, stops them becoming chronic problems, and avoids adding extra stress to your system that's already managing Hep B. So yeah, don't hesitate to seek medical advice if something feels off.
Okay, good advice. And finally, we touched on this, but let's circle back. Probiotic support. How do probiotics specifically help promote vaginal health, especially for someone managing hepatitis B?
Right, so bringing in a high-quality vaginal probiotic can be a really useful strategy. What they do is help maintain healthy levels of those beneficial bacteria in the vagina.
The good guys.
Exactly. The lactobacillus species, mainly. They're essential for keeping that acidic pH, which, as we said, makes it tough for harmful microbes to thrive. It's like giving the vaginal ecosystem natural support to defend itself against imbalances.
Okay, so let's get into that a bit more. How exactly do these probiotics work their magic down there?
Well, probiotics, especially the ones loaded with various lactobacillus strains, they offer several key benefits. First, they actively help replenish the good bacteria.
Hmm.
These good bacteria then produce lactic acid. That's what maintains the slightly acidic environment needed to keep many harmful microbes in check.
Okay, so maintaining the right pH.
Precisely. Second, a healthy, balanced microbial community can help sort of modulate the local immune response. It can reduce that low-grade inflammation in the vaginal tissues.
Ah, so less irritation.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Less dryness, irritation, maybe helps with minor abrasions.
Hmm.
And third, a thriving microbiome actually strengthens the local immune system itself. It makes it harder for pathogens to get a foothold and cause infection.
Even when the body's dealing with Hep B stress.
Especially then, yeah. When the body's overall resources might be strained by something like Hep B, supporting local defenses becomes even more important. So, for women navigating chronic infections, probiotics offer this accessible, non-drug approach to help support vaginal health.
That sounds really promising as a proactive support strategy. Now, the article you shared mentions a specific product, Balance Complex. What can you tell us about that one?
Yes, Balance Complex. It's presented as a targeted vaginal probiotic supplement. The whole idea is that it's formulated to help restore that microbial balance, maybe reduce inflammation, and bolster the immune defenses specifically within the vaginal environment.
Okay.
It's described as having this pretty comprehensive blend of probiotic strains, but also some specific antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory ingredients, all aimed at maintaining that crucial acidic pH, protecting the tissues, and just promoting overall vaginal well-being.
And it lists quite a few specific ingredients. Let's talk through those and what they're supposed to do.
Absolutely. So first off, it boasts a high-potency vaginal probiotic blend, 100 billion CFU per gram, which is, well, quite concentrated.
That sounds like a lot.
It is. And it includes several well-researched lactobacillus strains, like Lactobacillus acidophilus, known for producing lactic acid, key for that protective pH.
Okay.
Then there's Lactobacillus rhamnosus. Studies suggest it supports healthy immune responses, helps reduce inflammation down there. Lactobacillus reuteri is in there too, thought to help stabilize the microbiome and maybe aid tissue healing.
Interesting.
Lactobacillus plantarum offers some antioxidant protection good for tissue resilience. And it also has Bacillus coagulans, that's a spore-forming probiotic, known for being quite stable and contributing to long-term microbial balance.
Wow, that's a pretty diverse mix of good bacteria. What other key things are in Balance Complex?
It also has a cranberry and D-mannose blend. These are pretty well known for helping prevent bacteria, especially E. coli, from sticking to the walls of the vagina and urinary tract.
Ah, so potentially helpful for UTIs too.
Exactly, that's the idea. Reducing UTI risk is often a goal there. Then there's oregano leaf extract, that's a natural antimicrobial, aims to fight off potentially harmful bacteria and fungi, hopefully while leaving good microbes alone.
Okay.
And caprylic acid, that's a fatty acid, included specifically to target yeast overgrowth, trying to prevent those recurrent fungal infections.
Okay, so it's looking at both bacterial and yeast balance. What else is on that ingredient list?
It also contains protease and cellulase. These are enzymes that help break down bacterial biofilms.
Biofilms, those are like protective shields bacteria make, right?
Exactly. So breaking them down might make the probiotics more effective and help maintain a healthier balance overall. Then there's aloe vera leaf, pretty famous for soothing and healing properties, which could be really helpful if tissues are stressed.
Makes sense.
Arabinogalactan is in there. That's a prebiotic fiber, basically food to help the good probiotic bacteria grow and thrive. Aniseed offers some antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory benefits. Black walnut hulls are another natural antifungal and antibacterial agent.
Lots of natural support.
Yeah, and wormwood is included to support immune resilience and stable flora. Finally, reishi mushroom, a medicinal mushroom known for helping reduce chronic inflammation and enhance immune responses, both vital for tissue health and comfort.
Wow, that really is a comprehensive formula. So based on all that, how specifically could something like Balance Complex potentially help women who are managing Hep B and dealing with these related vaginal health issues?
Well, the article suggests a few key ways it might help. First, by actively working to restore that microbial balance. The high dose and variety of probiotics aim to replenish the good bacteria, maintain the acidic pH, and deter pathogens, especially important if the immune system is taxed by Hep B.
Okay, restoring balance.
Second, those anti-inflammatory and soothing ingredients like the aloe and reishi, they aim to reduce common issues like dryness, sensitivity, irritation, basically improving comfort that might be affected by the chronic infection or hormonal shifts.
Reducing discomfort, yeah.
Third, by creating a healthier vaginal microbiome overall, it could mean fewer opportunities for infections like BV, yeast infections, or UTIs to develop. That not only improves comfort, but also reduces the extra load on an immune system already busy with Hep B.
Less burden on the immune system.
Right. And finally, the support for overall immune function and tissue integrity from some of those other ingredients could contribute to greater resilience down there, making it easier for the body to handle challenges and stay balanced.
So it sounds like a way to offer some pretty targeted support when the body's facing these other major health demands. But importantly, the article also stressed taking a holistic approach, right?
Oh, absolutely crucial to emphasize that. Balance Complex is positioned as a supportive measure.
Yeah.
It's vital to remember that managing Hep B effectively and its potential ripple effects
Yeah.
is multifaceted.
Yeah.
It means ongoing medical guidance, maybe antiviral therapy, definitely a healthy diet, finding ways to manage stress, regular checkups.
Yeah.
All of that is non-negotiable.
Right, the foundation.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
By combining those essential medical and lifestyle strategies with potentially helpful targeted support like Balance Complex, women can build a stronger foundation to help counter those effects of chronic infection on vaginal health. It's that integrated, holistic approach done consistently that can really enhance comfort, reduce infection risk, and ultimately help women feel more confident and well.
This has been incredibly insightful. It really is fascinating just how interconnected our body systems are, how something we think of as primarily affecting one area, like Hep B and the liver, can actually have these, well, far-reaching effects on seemingly unrelated parts of the body, like vaginal health.
It really is.
Mhm.
While hepatitis B is known for the liver, its influence, as we've dug into, can definitely extend beyond that. Through these pathways, hormones, immunity, inflammation, stress, it can subtly but significantly impact vaginal health, potentially making things more susceptible to irritation, dryness, infection. Just understanding those connections is the first step, really, to taking proactive measures for overall well-being.
So what would you say is the biggest takeaway message here for listeners managing hepatitis B?
I think the most important takeaway is really the value of a comprehensive, well-rounded approach to your entire health. There isn't one single fix, right? But focusing on that balanced diet, actively managing stress, practicing gentle hygiene, getting prompt treatment for any infections, and maybe considering targeted probiotic support. All these things together play a big role in boosting your body's defenses and promoting vaginal health. A product like Balance Complex, with its specific mix of probiotics and nutrients, it offers one potential natural way to help restore and maintain that healthy vaginal balance. But it's about integrating these different strategies. Doing that consistently really equips you better to safeguard your reproductive wellness, even while living with a chronic condition like Hep B.
So while your main focus might understandably be on managing the hepatitis B itself, remembering to tune into your overall well-being, and that definitely includes paying attention to your vaginal health, can be a really crucial and honestly empowering part of feeling your best.
Well said.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? What other seemingly unrelated areas of our health might be influencing each other in ways we just don't realize yet? Definitely food for thought. And just as a side note, if you are interested in exploring your own vaginal health a bit more and maybe getting some personalized insights, the article did mention vaginalquiz.com. Says it's a quick science-backed quiz for a personalized analysis. Might be another useful tool for understanding what's going on and how best to support your body.